If you want to win against all odds, you can't walk around just doing any and everything thinking somebody got an answer to you. You must carry yourself in a humbled way. Beloved brothers and sisters, so now the King Darius' decision to put Daniel over everyone didn't sit well with the other presidents and princes in the kingdom. So they sought out to take Daniel out. However, they couldn't find anything against him to mess him up. Beloved brothers and sisters, we should strive to live a blameless life so that the enemy won't have anything to hold against us. Beloved brothers and sisters, we must live a humble life. We must live an excellent life so that if the enemy may try to throw anything against us, he can't find nothing to throw in our face. When you going around living any type of life, people will have so much dirt and mess to hold against you. But when you live in your life in a humble and excellent way, they won't have anything to say about you, but you're living holy. They won't have anything to say about you, but that you're living right. So you must carry yourself as, amen, live your life rather a blameless life. So the Daniel enemies knew that the only way to get Daniel was through his relationship with God. Beloved brothers and sisters, the enemy knows that the only way to get to you is he must go through God. Before he tried Job, before he tested Job, he had to go have a little talk with Jesus. So can I encourage you, beloved brothers and sisters, that the only reason why you're going through what you're going through is because the enemy is trying to take you out. But you must understand that when you live a blameless life, the enemy won't have no ammunition or anything to throw against you. Somebody ought to say, we're going to keep on winning. So they went to the king and convinced the king to make a decree that basically prevents anybody from praying, amen, to their gods for 30 days. In order for you to pray, in order for you to worship, you had to worship and pray the God of King Darius. And they knew that Daniel prayed faithfully 3 times a day. So they knew they have now, amen, gotten something against Daniel. So they went back and spotted Daniel praying. Number 2, Daniel teaches us to remain consistent in prayer. See, what I had to understand and what I had to realize as I have been fighting, amen, the battle, as I have been going through for the past 3 to 4 weeks, might as well say a month now, that God had to teach me that I need you to just be quiet and pray. You see me, I was real hot, I was real bothered, I was real aggravated, I was real frustrated because I didn't understand why in the world, God, was I going through what I was going through. God, why in the world was people talking about? Why was people scandalizing my name? Why were people trying to take Minister Gore out? Why were they trying to take Marquis out? But God had to teach me, son, I just need you to be quiet so I can do what I need to do. You ought to tell yourself, say, self, be quiet sometime. Quiet sometime. In order for you to win against Allah, you got to shut your mouth, because there will be times where you're quick to respond. There will be times where you're quick to say some stuff and then you'll mess yourself up. God is trying to bless you. God is trying to deliver you. But since you can't keep your mouth shut, you won't be able to get your blessing. So you must understand that you got to keep your mouth shut and continue in prayer. How do you know, Marquis? I'm going to stop and give y'all my testimony. I've been looking for a car for 2 to 3 weeks now. Amen. And I went up to Columbia Wednesday afternoon, and I went into the office. Now, this was my first time getting a car, so I don't know what to ask or say to the people. Amen. But I was sitting there, and I thank God for my dad, because my dad, he told me, he said, I want you to drive to Columbia by yourself and get your car. I said, okay, no problem. But the Lord had to show me one thing. He said, we was going, and he said, well, we need to put gas in the car. You got money to put gas in the car? I said, well, not really. I said, I got about $20 I can put in the tank. I said, that's enough to get to Columbia. He said, no, I'll put it in there. So he went to pump the gas, and he got back in the car. He said, all right, well, let's go and get on the highway. You know where you're going, right? I was like, yeah, I go to Columbia often. He was like, okay, get on the highway. So I was riding, I was like, Lord, I thought he told me I was coming up here by myself. Why? Lord, and when I travel alone, I don't like music. I just like to ride in silence and think and meditate. And so he in there, he got the music playing and everything. So we driving on up to Columbia. And we get to Columbia, I see the car that I want. He goes in the office, they tell him one price. He said, no, we can't do that price. He said, this is what the bank told me, this is what we want the car for. This whole time I'm keeping my mouth shut. I ain't saying not a word. So I'm praying, Lord, if it's your will, let me get this car, Lord, let me get this car, Lord, let your will be done. What God was teaching me, beloved, is that you got to keep your mouth shut because you don't know what you're talking about. So as the time went on, he began to show me that, son, I need you to be quiet so I can bless you. Long story short, I drove from Columbia in the 2016 Mazda 3. And what God was teaching me is that in this season of your life, you've been frustrated, you've been aggravated because people been talking about you. But what you learned to do is that you didn't go on Snapchat, you didn't go on Facebook, you didn't go on Instagram, you didn't stand in the pulpit and talk about nobody, but you kept your mouth shut. And since you kept your mouth shut and you prayed and you bowed at my feet, now I'm going to bless you. Beloved brothers and sisters, as we on, amen, this 11th pastoral anniversary, I'm sure there were some times, Pastor Clark, where you wanted to go off. You wanted to tell everybody how you feel, but God encouraged you to just keep your mouth shut and let me do the work. So Daniel didn't go and complain to the king. Daniel didn't go to the king and say, King, are you serious? I've been faithful. I'm your head person, and you really gonna do this to me? Instead, Daniel continued to pray. He knew that this decree was made, but he still continued to pray. God wants us to continue to pray. The only way we're going to win against all odds, we must have a consistent prayer life. You can't just pray to God when you need something from him. You just can't pray to God when things are going good. But you got to know how to pray to God even when things are going bad and good. So when they do, amen, begin to go bad, you got some prayers to stand up on. Yes, sir. So they went back and told the king what was going on. So the king was hesitant and wanted to save Daniel. He really did, but he had to honor his word. So the king says, Daniel, I need y'all to go get Daniel and go ahead and throw him in that lion's den. The king says to Daniel, may the God you serve deliver thee. Then they brought a stone and covered over the entrance, and they used his signet rings to seal the tomb, not the tomb, but the lion's den, because they knew that only God could deliver Daniel. If he really served the God he talked about, then God would deliver him. But the odds were against Daniel, and in this moment, he had peace. How can you have peace in a difficult situation? It's simply because Daniel had been spending time in prayer, so when he found himself in a difficult season, he had peace. So the next morning, King Darius came to the den. I got to get ready to close. King Darius came to the den to see if Daniel was still there, and Daniel responded and said, my God have sent his angel and have shut the lion's mouth. Yeah. Beloved brothers and sisters, you got to remain consistent in prayer, because if you do those things, God will shut the lion's mouth. Can I submit to you, and I'm going to tell you this and I'm going to get ready to close, that there are people that are praying for your downfall. There are people that are talking bad against you right now and you don't even know it. You're not even at work. You're not even where they at right now, but they talking bad against you. How do you know, Marquis? Because I've experienced myself. I ain't got to be in the place, but word will get back to me and say, well, they talking about you. They scandalizing you. They doing this. They doing that. But can I submit to you, beloved brothers and sisters, amen, that God is getting ready to send his angels and get ready to shut the lion's mouth. The lions thought they will be able to destroy you. They're hungry. They're ready to destroy you. But God has stepped on the scene and he has closed the lion's mouth. So let them talk. Let them criticize you. Let them scandalize you. Let them run your name in the dirt. But what you don't know is that while they scandalize you and talking about you, that God is getting ready to make it so, amen, that your enemies will fall in the lion's den. The same trap that they tried to put on you, God is getting ready to put them in that same trap, and you gonna win against. So Daniel had to win against Saul because his enemies tried to take him out, but God allowed him to triumph. His enemies thought that this would destroy Daniel. They just knew that the lions was going to tear Daniel up. The lions ain't ate in a few days. They ready and they starving for dinner. Amen. But when they got in there and brought Daniel out, Daniel was sleeping with the lions. So the same folk, amen, that tried to talk about you, God will give you so much peace, amen, that you will walk around in comfort. God will give you so much peace, amen, that you will drive around in a nice car. God will give you so much peace that you'll be able to lay down at night and thank God that you got peace while they got hell going on in their house, while they going through what they going through, while they messing up on their job, while they struggling, you walking around in peace. You ought to look at your neighbor and say, neighbor, I'm going to continue winning against all odds. So now the king ordered everyone that talked about Daniel, that accused Daniel and their enemies, to be thrown in the lion's den. I'm sure, Pastor Clark, that there were folk that talked about you and tried to set you up, but they're not even here today. You're still pastoring after 11 years, and the same folk that tried to talk about you, their ministry may not be doing as well. But since you were faithful to God, and since you obeyed the voice of God, God has now allowed you to win against all odds. They talked about you because you did this and you did that. They talked about you because you made decisions that didn't seem right to them. But the Lord sent me by to tell Jerusalem that you ought to support your pastor because God is getting ready to send you guys in the season where you'll be able to win against all odds. Why don't you look at your neighbor and tell your neighbor that we're going to continue to win against all odds. They may talk about us, they may run our name in the dirt, but I'm going to keep on winning against all odds. I came by to encourage you that they're talking about you, they're criticizing you, but the Lord is getting ready to make a way that you're going to win against all odds. I didn't understand what I was going through, understand what talking about me, but the Lord encouraged me and said, you're getting ready to win against all odds. So let them talk, let them criticize you, because God, He's getting ready. Oh, it's for you. God, He's getting ready to make a way for you. So let them talk, y'all. Let them talk about you. Just walk around and know that the Lord is on your side. Cause yea, though I'll walk the valley on the shadow of death, I'll feel no evil, because thou art with me, thou rod and thy staff thou comfort me. Is there anybody that's glad to know that I got grace and I got mercy following me? So when I walk in a room, they don't understand why I got peace, but it's because I'm winning against all odds. Look to the hills from which coming my help, cause all my help comes from the Lord. Oh, I ain't worried, I ain't stressed, because I know that we always win. Look at your neighbor, say, neighbor, I'm winning against all odds. Yeah, why don't you tell your neighbor, say, neighbor, I'm gonna keep on winning. Odds are set against me. No matter what comes my way, we always win. I'm gonna keep on pushing, I'm gonna keep on fighting, cause and we know all things work together for the good of them that love God and that are called according to His purpose. Say yeah, yeah, yeah. But what we gotta understand is that we gotta remain humble and we gotta be consistent in our prayer life. As the text closed by saying that the king decreed and declared that from now on we gonna worship the God of Daniel. From now on we gonna worship and bow down to the God of Daniel. Can I let somebody know, as I get ready to leave you, that God is getting ready to set it up, that you're about to be a light in your community, you're about to be a light on your job, you're about to be a light in your house, and so that when you walk in such a a way that they know that is nothing but God. That they know that when they see Marquis walk in the building, he got God on his side. So let them talk about me.